right, we've got another game against PhillyEagle72. Best of luck. Community match number 4 underway against, looking for an average 12-9. Let's see how we do. Once again, an average attack roll. Average defense roll. Alright. Looks gonna be... Uh-oh. I was gonna say average, but now we're heading towards below average. Now we're back right on average. We're right on average. Good. We like to see it. But what we would really like to see is average in Ukraine. 2 tanks remaining is average. Oh, it's gonna be below. That's not good. We need a really good hit here. Oh my goodness. It is not gonna be a good hit there. We have 1 more attack in us. We need all 4 hits. We get 3, leaving all the aircraft alive. But we have another chance because he only hit 1 hit back. The bomber hits and we lose the fight. Oh my goodness. Crazy. We'll love to see it. It'll be an interesting game. I think we will send the fighter up north. Defend against any invasion in Caucasus, because that's now very possible. We'll just leave a 4 infantry, an AA gun chunk for him to attack if he wants it. Great opportunity here for him to stack Ukraine. Possible to stack Karelia here. Even possible to attack Caucasus if he's efficient about it. Maybe the transport battleship and 1 or 2 fighters. So any more than that and it gets risky. And the battleship's coming west with a fighter. And 2 and 10. Oh, he does not like British fleet, that's for sure. What do you buy? 5111. Wow. Does like his aircraft. Looking to replace the aircraft he lost in Ukraine. A little light on ground units, but it'll definitely prevent some drops for a while. Not that the British were looking to do that anyway. Should get this pretty cleanly. Unless he misses and we hit 2 in a row, then it gets a little awkward for him. But overall, should go pretty simply for him. Yep. Season 7's where the risk is going to come in. See which one he wants to do first. Going to go for Season 10. Should also get this pretty cleanly. 50-50-ish chance to lose 1 of the subs. Gets it cleanly. Alright, here comes the risk. Always a risk in Season 7. A lot of the time you lose a plane just putting 4 in there. See if the sub wants a hit. Always a heart stopper for the German player when the sub gets a hit and your minimalist 4-2 attack. Uh-oh, and it looks like it might have, unless it was one of those situations where we got a hit and he just got 1 hit, which went to the battleship. Either way, second round, another chance for the sub. Looks like the sub missed, but he hit once and we hit once. leaving just 2 fighters against the battleship. The sub is definitely still going to be alive by the end now, with a chance to get a plane, and we did get a plane. Looks like it's going about the same, at least in Season 7, as last game. With, once again, yeah, that's always the danger with sending 4 to 7. You're very, very likely to lose at least one of the planes. There was a scary chance of losing both. And then it's almost game crushing if not only do you lose both, but you don't kill the battleship. It's like the transport was gambited. Wants to potentially stack. No, I was going to say maybe stack Ukraine, but it looks like it's a half stack, a little mini stack. Looks like 3 half-size stacks along the border. Never mind. Looking like a good chunk in the north and a bigger chunk in the south. A little awkward. Give the Russians a strafing target. Going to come back into Caucasus here. Looks like a great opportunity for a strafe back into Caucasus with one of the British air units finishing off the transport in 16 and landing in Caucasus. Probably going to be the bomber. Because this fighter is going to be needed in 33, especially with this destroyer still alive. Definitely want him part of the conflict. Looks like the tank hordes arriving in Poland. Battleship will be a little awkward for our coming fleet in 11. Probably want to have destroyer, fighter, bomber, kill the remaining subs, and build enough, maybe a sub in Season 11 just to defend it against the battleship. I think we will definitely go with our bomber since Africa was not touched. In fact, people were moved off of Africa. The destroyer was left alive. So we will kill this one. And there's no need to kill this transport and come this way since we're not attacking Karelia. It's not going to be safe to land in either spot. They're coming south into Caucasus, so they're both going to come south this round, leaving the Russian sub to finish off the transport. Cruiser fighter will take care of the destroyer, and that's going to be the combat. Alright. Here's hoping a good strafe happens to Ukraine, because it'd be mighty awkward to strafe it and lose more than we attack with, and then Caucasus is there for the taking with this bomber sitting there. But let's not will that into existence. Bring an infantry up here actually, just to help defend that more. These guys are completely safe since the transport's now dead. These guys can just come here. Both fighters will come down south. This infantry can come here. Our standard gambit. Tank can come here as well, since there's no transport alive. That'll be that. Alright. Over to Japan. As the British take an aggressive stance down here in the south once again. Perhaps I should explain why I'm doing this move. It might seem weird to some people at first. I mean, it is a free transport for the Japanese, but not really. Yes, he can take it, but then he just loses the sub to the Americans, who would usually have nothing better to do, who would usually come this way anyway. It's the same distance, 1, 2, oops, 1, 2, 3, as it would be to come through here, 1, 2, 3. We'll go after Pearl, and if he ignores the transport, then I have the extra benefit of having sent these guys west for free. The sub being in 37 dissuades attacks on 33, since the carrier would have to come either to 32 or 34, which is in range of the sub by definition, and the extra planes make it awkward for him to defend it. The cruiser being here will help with defending 36, or dead zoning it, and it will provide a little extra incentive for him to ignore the Indian Ocean altogether, which is typically what happens here. Now he's doing exactly that, coming up north, going to ignore almost everything here. And if he wants to kill it with the battleship, he's got to defend it with the carrier too, because the sub, the fighter, and the 2 bombers, and typically this bomber, but not this game, is able to attack it pretty efficiently too, which puts these guys well out of position for the next round. And since next round 36 becomes pretty much dead zoned if all goes according to plan, especially with this extra destroyer, it's really hard to get them back into the game unless he's prepared to have his entire navy come down south to help protect it. Speaking of which, what did he purchase? 221. I'm a fan. I do like that purchase. The 2 infantry are probably not needed, but overall, 2 transports good, fighters good. No extra surface warships though, which will would have been handy on turn 1 to help secure 36 next round, but regardless, still pretty good. Looks like a minimalist attack in Pearl. I like that attack as well. No need to send any extra planes in, no need to send the carrier in. Leave the opportunity for all your planes to survive if you roll well, and if you roll poorly, and then hey, you lost a plane anyway, so who cares? This gives your ceiling a good extra few inches, you could say. A good attack there. It's like a pretty average attack here. Heavy reinforcement into Bury. Does not like these 4 infantry sticking up here. Wants to get them moving west instead. So typically in situations where they go into Bury hard, I'll leave 1 infantry in Soviet Far East and the rest will come to Ivanki, splitting up his force if he wants to take both, and giving him a little less initiative on the western frontier. Going pretty hard into Yunnan. Does remember to disengage from 37, which is good. Not going into Burma, though, might leave whatever remains of Yunnan up to counterattack, especially from the infantry tank. Bomber, bomber, fighter, bomber. And the battleship in 61 is going to need some extra support as well. Perhaps he's just waiting to put the carrier there in non-com. Otherwise, there's a sub, 3 bombers, and a fighter that could attack it, potentially. Alright, Pearl. Typically, you can get this completely and have the fighter-bomber surviving at the end. Ooh, but the sub hits, making it awkward. Oh no, disaster! We get 2 hits, he gets 1, going to the destroyer. If he attacks again, he will get the carrier, since the carrier I have set to... Oh, and he does it. Ooh, if I had that carrier after fighter, it would have been very devastating. But as it stands, not the worst. He did lose both planes, which sets him back slightly, but did get the carrier, which is the primary goal of the Pearl attack. Over and on way. Should get this, no problem. Be nice to get at least one hit here. Making his 4 go to 3. Ooh, to two hit backs. It's a little devastating. That is potentially hittable with the Americans. If America hits this and gets Onway and the British hit Yunnan, he's going to have almost no units down here in the south remaining. Let's see what remains here in Yunnan. We want at least one hit if we want to come in with the British. Why we send this extra British dude. And we do. Looks like we got 2 hit backs, which is a perfect counterattack with the British. Carrier does come up to help defend the battleship. Yep, gonna see the other one because these two have to come into 62 to defend the transport. And his other 2 transports coming in. Oh, just one battleship. Ooh. That's dangerous. There is 1, 2, 3. Well, not as dangerous as it could have been. This bomber is usually in Kazakh, but he had a little mission beforehand to kill the transport in 16. Probably could have gotten it with the American fighter, but there's a non-zero chance that Japan attacks Szechuan. But battleship and 3 transport against 2 bombers is risky. But it's fine. So, America has a pretty simple round here, I think. Destroyer carrier. We want to get 1 transport, sub, a dude. Usually you get 2 transports, but we need to defend against the extra battleship coming in here. Especially if one of these subs remain alive in Season 10, it could get awkward backs. We already have 4 units for these 2 transports. The extra dude plus this dude will suffice for the transport coming in. And we have 4 remaining. Probably just save it since I don't need it right now. Can't get an extra C unit right now either. But that'll be it. It's a little slow on the Americans' part. But we have the time. So I think we will attempt this. Land back in Caucasus. It's nice that he doesn't have to land in Transjordan this game because the transport's dead. And everything else is fine. We want to get both on the first round of combat here. The destroyer lives. Excellent. Here it would be really nice to at least hit one of them. If we get both, that'd be excellent. Would have been less likely by the second. Oh, and we lose the fighter too. That is very tragic. Oh well. Put the sub up here. Bring these guys back. These 2 fighters have to land there to support. Bring this bomber over. We have extra fighters coming in. Usually don't have 2 fighters coming back from Pearl, which is nice. Keep the transports in 11 for now. We could Gambit a transport if he wants to kill it with a battleship, potentially. But he does have the bomber here. Not really in an efficient spot to Gambit him. Except maybe 22, but attacking it would put us out of position. But I think we'll just chill as it is. The sub coming to 64, he can trap it if he comes at 59, but I'd be okay if he wanted to put his fleet in 59. That would give the British free reign in the south, and we could come back to defend anyway. So that's where it'll stand. Might even buy an extra carrier and come into the Mediterranean this game. Alright, Sub's got to kill the transport. We'll take this for free. Over here, what we're going to do is we planned, come in here for a nice meaty strafe. Our 1 poor fighter that remains. And everything else is movement. Alright. See how it goes. We want 5 to 6 hits. 5, very nice. He should get about 2 or 3 hits. It's 1. Oh, an incredible strafe. And we are out and in caucus. Excellent. We will send most there, with 1 there. And that'll be it for the Russians. Alright, we'll see how Germany wants to react. Got 5 fighters and a bomber. Pretty good Air Force still. Battleship has an opportunity to come back into the Med and cause problems for the Americans, who would want to land at 13 if you wanted to go that route. Purchases 7 and 2. More planes. Lots of planes. Not a lot of ground units. Again, very good against defending against sea zones, but the Americans are coming in heavy, bringing the battleship destroyer through. Probably going to build an extra carrier. Destroyer living here is kind of awkward for him. 2, unless he wants to use his battleship to kill it. For its final act of defiance in this war. It's like efficient min trades. Ooh, I was going to say efficient min trades, but 3 into West Russia is a little heavy. Especially with fighters in Poland that could send. Probably just send 2 infantry, 2 fighters. The British are also going to have a pretty efficient attack here as well. Have to choose the objectives here. He sends all 3 into West Russia. Probably send infantry tank, some planes, and then an infantry tank into Yunnan with some planes. Decide on how many and where. Might just have to skip West Russia, depending on how many survive. If I get 1 hit back in West Russia, I'll send the British for it. Or if he leaves 2 in Ukraine, I'll have the British go for Ukraine. I think. So West Russia would be the most important of the battles. Okay. Want some free Archangel. Some delicious Archangel cake. Be nice to get a hit back here. Good thing we got a banky infantry coming back that can efficiently trade it back. We do get a hit back, very nice. Make it a little easier for the Russians, since they only have the one Big Newton. Yeah, definitely going to have to rely on the British to help do some of these trades. And we do not get a hit back in West Russia. That is a 3 infantry hold, which is a little awkward for us. Maybe the British do help anyway. What can we send? We have 3 bombers. This fighter is out of range. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 3 bombers and a fighter, which is essentially 2 planes at each if I wanted to go for both. Which is not great. Is going to stack Ukraine here. Would have liked to see this first round, but better late than never. Have to calculate if we can remain in Caucasus. Perhaps a good calculation to make if we succeed in West Russia. 23. Looking like 24, 25, 26, 16, 17, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. I think we can definitely defend it. Question is how efficiently. Which means we definitely have to attack West Russia. There can't be any chance of 10 tanks and 5 fighters breaching if we're putting all our assets in Caucasus. Important hold. Sends the battleship up to 7, which is interesting. Stays within range of Sea Zone 13, but the destroyer and the planes can still reach 7. They're probably going to hit him there anyway. I think we will come into here. We could skip Yunnan to go for a more favorable battle in French. Just to have better odds up here in the north. I think we will. Send a bomber at it. Send the rest of the assets up here. I think we'll keep the tank back. Just want to kill French. This should be enough to wipe out West Russia, which would leave Russia able to just take it with an infantry. Does relieve a little pressure on Japan, but most of his stuff is up here. Not a lot coming through here anyway. And with the extra destroyer, we should be able to very efficiently position in 34, even despite him having 4 fighters in range. And the transport can come to 39 since his bomber didn't live, nor come to Solomon. Let's try it. Alright, this is a very important attack here in the war. We want to kill all 3 here with this attack. It's not a good start. Oh, devastating! He hits all 3 of his infantry and we just hit 1 of his. Leaving us having to retreat. You hate to see that, that's for sure. We do get that shit though. Overlaps. Alright, well. Could have been better. But not the end of the war. Bring these bombers back down south. Well, that means Russia needs to successfully wipe out Archangel and West Russia and have enough remaining in Caucasus. I think we'll send this guy forward just to help with that defense if Russia is successful in West Russia and Archangel. We can stay there for now. That's probably it. They want to put this tank in Persia, though. Just give him range over here and into Moscow if we need him next round. Definitely going to be an awkward round coming up. But Japan has an awkward round here, too. With the growing British pressure now mounting down here in the south. The loss of that fighter is also kind of devastating for us, since we kind of needed that to help Dead Zone 36. But we should still have enough in the area to accomplish that. He has 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So yeah, that is enough for a dead zone. So coming to 36 would be a dead Japanese fleet. And East Indies subsequently is about to fall, depending on what he does here. He could send all his fighters down here, but historically that doesn't go very well. They just get out of position, can't do anything, and then the British just buy more bombers, and then it just becomes a nightmare. Yep. See, almost half the force going east instead of west. Now instead of 5 units on the front, there's only 3. Purchased 6 and 1. Interesting purchase. Means he saved some money. Yeah, saved 5. Looks like he's going a little west. Sending a couple down south. See where he wants to put the bulk of his drop. Probably in Kwangtung, if I had to guess. 4 extra dudes probably going to Yunnan on non-com. Pretty efficient, I like that. US is probably going to wipe the battleship and then come to 13. Threaten the Medshuk here. So we had to wait a turn. See what Germany wants to do about that, if anything. Which means we'll have to buy at least 1 more carrier. Rest transports and infantry and such. Looks like he wants to stay in 61 too with the entire fleet. Which is fine for us, since we can just send the transport, or free transport, to 37, get East Indies, our bomber support, leaving the entire fleet now consolidated in 34. He can get it back, but it cost him the transport, the 2 ground units from the mainland And if you wanted to secure it, depending on what's left in East Indies, you'd have to either send offshore bombardments or fighter support, which would mean you'd have to send a carrier as well, or 2 transports to get it back, which is not going to be efficient for them. This, though, Russia coming up is going to be a tricky turn for sure. We got 1 hit back here in Soviet Far East. For whatever reason, that Soviet Far East infantry seems to always get a hit back. It's one of those places that Japan just loses people, always, for whatever reason. Like he didn't have trouble here in French Indochina. Yep, 4 into Yunnan, as expected. Overall, not a half bad expansion on Japan's part, though he only has token forces on the front. One thing this strategy is very good at is spreading out the forces of Japan. Very hard to get a fist going for the Japanese army. Alright, so we need a carrier. And then we don't have technically any outbound since they're coming to 13. So any transports we get, we need units for. Again with that 4 extra IPCs. Always awkward. Probably... just save it again. We have what we need. Maybe upgrade an infantry to an artillery, 3 to 1. To have a bit more bite when we come in. We do want to have a bit more bite if we're doing a med shuck. We don't actually know if we're doing a med shuck yet. We'll see after this turn how he responds. It could just be a 10 to 8 kind of push. Take that for now. We will be killing these guys. Fighters can land in the United Kingdom, and these fighters can land in our aircraft carrier in 13 pretty efficiently. And that's the only attack. We'll come here for now, just to say we did. Alright, battleship. Your time has come. Maybe not. Definitely does kill the destroyer on his way out. Say love you, destroyer. Do not want to land him over here yet. We don't know what Russia's situation is going to look like. And we want him in range of France and Italy here. You guys just bring the whole force over here. Sub is no longer needed, so he'll come over here into the Atlantic, or the Pacific. You guys will come here. This guy can come this way now. Sub is doing great work here in 64. I think we'll just keep him there for now. Everything else is pretty good. Russia. Extremely, extremely important round. Two infantry artillery fighter. And 3 infantry, just from the east. This would lead, if we get both, he has 17, 18, 23, 24, 25, 26. We have 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Which would be enough to hold Caucasus. Just barely. But this is worrying. I think what I'll do, I'll send the artillery, keep one back, and he'll just go to Vologda. The best possible odds on that fight. Usually I only have 28 against his 26. That still should be enough. At least enough to give him odds. Alright. Battle 1 done. Now the most important one, almost of the entire war. This, we need to take it. Halfway there. Does get a hit back. Looking promising. We need to hit right here. 2. Alright. Good. That allows us to stay in Caucasus for another round. Which is massive. He might attack it anyway, which would be kind of fun. Especially if he gets it cleanly. But it should be enough forces to make him think twice. Especially with 2 AA guns against all of these aircraft. And with such nice juicy targets here in Archangel and West Russia for him to attack. Infantry artillery, 2 infantry artillery. Problem with him buying all these planes is he does not have a big horde of units with which to stack a spot. So even if you wanted to stack West Russia, I think we'd have enough units to deal with them anyway. We'll come 4 into Archangel pretty heavily. And another min trade here in West Russia. I do like the units being used, though he doesn't actually have to use artillery here, since he has so many extra planes. What do we purchase? 12 and 2. Great purchase. Nothing better than that. Looks like he's ebbing down on the plane purchasing. Is using the planes efficiently in the battles. Doesn't need to send 4 to this with all these planes. He could leave 1 back if he wanted to. Just decide what the British want to do on their turn now. Could attack French Indo. Definitely taking East Indies here. Might even have an attack on West Russia, depending on what he has left, just to make trading there more efficient. Oh, he lost 2 units on the first round. 3 units lost total. That's kind of devastating. Apparently he did need all 4, because those planes did not do their job very well that first round. Only getting 1 hit. Which is good for us. We want to see at least 1 hit back here in West Russia. Would make our life. Any hit back we get here is great. We do. We get 1 hit back. Very nice. We'll get away from the Americans. towards more promising land, which, sorry, you'll never get to, my friend. Continue to stack Ukraine, as expected. Puts the entire Air Force in Ukraine, except the bomber. Will ignore all of the land around him. Okay. I think what I might do here is a little bit of a hedge. I'll put this fleet in 15 with only 2 transports. We just put 2 infantry here. Alright, well, I'll decide that on the American turn, which will come up shortly. The British, I think we'll definitely be in Sea Zone 8 this turn, so here's our chance to get our transport. Down here, we want another bomber, and then 2 units. We can get a fighter and an infantry. So this is happening for sure. I think we will attempt this. Even though it's a little awkward. It would be nice to hit these guys. So Russia is really hurting for efficient trades. So it is awkward for the British. We stay in Caucasus. 22, 28, 29, now 30 looking at it. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Again, we'd have to kill this guy. And we'd have to deal with whatever Japan has in here. Fighters leaving, which is a little problematic, which means this attack is suddenly very suspect. Without additional support. We could send the bomber into it and rely on 3 bombers, 2 infantry to take East Indies. I think is what we'll do. Alright. This is a very important battle. We need to win this. Get it? Lost. Won. Perfect. That is now very awkward for him to retake. Do a little gambit here. Kill them. And he missed this. Nice. Ooh, extra nice. That's definitely good for us. Here we want to kill the unit. We'll press on. Still press on. That's very unfortunate. At least we got one of them. Fighter here will land in Moscow since we don't know if we're staying in Caucasus. Infantry will come this way. Artillery, infantry this way. Put 1 here. They bring 1 infantry back here so we can transport him if we need to. These guys will all come back. We do need to be wary of what he can bring in, which is 5 6, 7, 8, 9 against our 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13-ish. Should be fine for now. These guys are still good there. That's it. Get our free transport in here. Start wreaking havoc. Let's see what Japan does. He now has a problem. Pretty substantial one at that. They come down south and take this. You can send an infantry artillery since one infantry did die. But it costs them the transport and the ground units. And then we'd have another transport to follow it up. So we'll see how he wants to play it. Take all the border stuff pretty efficiently, especially since Russia is dealing with Germany in the west. He will. Very well. Going to use his Yunnan reinforcement to come south to deal with the British infantry. Which means he's not picking up to come down south to take East Indies. Purchased 6 and 2, looking for a good meaty transport reinforcement. Though I would save at least one of those fighters to take the transport out in 37. Might have been worth considering bringing one of my bombers into Western Australia if he wasn't going to kill the transport in 37. Then I would have had an attack on Borneo, which would have been devastating. So there's still time for him to kill it. Does not. Leaves it alive. Might regret that later. And his front line is now pushed all the way forward. Which means whatever we kill here, it's the only thing he has for a hot minute. I think we'll leave these guys for the British to kill. This dude and some planes. Get one hit back in French Indo, which is nice. A hit back here would also be really nice. Dude, nice. Makes our job easier. Once again, gotta put most of the stuff in 61 to defend against those British. have 7 looking at it. Defending, he's got 3, 6, 7, 8. So with the possibility of putting 1 extra fighter there. Good air force though. Been buying a lot of planes. Good amount of fighters. Can build carriers to help defend if he needs them. America's going to have a little bit of a field day here. I think we want another destroyer to help defend my stuff. 2 transports coming here, 1 transport here, another transport here, which means we need 4. 4 coming back. We already have 1 here, so we need 1 less. Which means we need a transport, 2 dudes, transport, and a dude. And we can move an AA gun with the extra slot. Alright. We'll put 1 dude here. And we need to pick up several guys. This guy will come here. We want artillery, infantry coming in here to grab this. We'll take another transport in here, grab you. And the last transport here to grab you. Leave the tank here for when we need it in the future. Battleship can come here to help defend. And that should be good. Finally, a little bit of pressure from the Americans' point of view. Yep, that's it. Hope for good Italy dice. Get it? Okay. Season 15 is a good juicy target for him. He can kill it if he wants it. Then all the other battles become a lot less efficient for him. Bring a full reinforcement back. Bring this back. Destroyer comes forward. This carrier will help defend along with these fighters. Now we have 4 fighters ready to attack any of these positions, plus the bomber. Bring this infantry down, ready for the transport pickup. And that's good to go. Nice smooth 53 income. Always love to see that. Alright. Well, these guys have to die. Again, a very important battle. This guy also has to die. Which we have to do that since we don't have... Excuse me. We don't have another fighter. These Japanese ground units are a little annoying since we can't efficiently kill them. So they might just live for now. Can we stay in Caucasus? That's the question, though. 22, 23, 29, 30. 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. 30, 31. And we had put 3 here. We'd have 4, 5 against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's not great. They all stack into here. Can we resist him? Not really. I'll have to defend with some British fighters, but I think I can do it. It's just gonna be a little awkward. As long as this battle goes well, though. If this battle doesn't go well, then we're gonna be in some trouble. Grenade, just in time. We also need to kill the guy up north, because if we don't kill him, he does have an attack on Moscow. Easy enough. Alright. Oh, bring this sub down. Actually, I might even want to bring him this way, come this way. 2022, 23, 20, wait, 2022, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Yeah, it's gonna be a close one. But hopefully all of the other stuff will entice him to use his planes elsewhere. See what he wants to do. Lots of options. Lots of battles to do. Buys 912, wants a couple extra tanks. Okay. Looks like he wants to do some efficient trading. Definitely means he's going to use his planes in the west, it looks like. It's good numbers, good numbers. All great attacks. All very efficient attacks. Does not want 15. Okay. All very efficient attacks. Does not want Egypt, does not want to incur the wrath of the British. One hit back in France, decent. Something to do with British transport, probably. I was gonna say come up north with the American support, but All these planes are probably landing in Germany, and they could reach Sea Zone 3 and land in Finland. Unless Northwest Europe survives somehow. Italy's not going according to plan, it looks like. Lost one, no losses. Gets it. At a loss of 2 more units. Looks like he lost a plane to get it, too. Which is very nice for us. Only got so many of those. Gets it, 1 loss. Pretty good hit back so far. Taking a hot minute. Takes Southern Europe, gets it for free. Last battle here in West Germany. It would be nice to get a hit back here. Any hit backs we get on the front is very nice, and we do. Okay. Four, huh? Interesting. Very interesting. Alright. Well. Presents a conundrum if we wanted to stay in Sea Zone 8. Kind of want to be in 15 and 8. But that prospect isn't the easiest. I think I'll stay in 15 one more round, grab these guys. Carrier will go to 8 to defend, and then attack France. Yeah. So America will get these 3, and I think the British will attempt Northwest Europe, which means we can keep the transport in 8 and potentially get another one here. We do want a bomber in India, just to keep that going. 6, 10, 13 with 2 offshores. Could potentially block in 36 now, though it's a little inefficient. Kind of want to wait on that. I want to go to 38 with a bomber here as well. I want to get a fighter and an infantry. We are running out of ground units here to deal with stuff. We could put the destroyer in 36 and then move our fleet to 35. So we would have a pretty decent attack on it with his air force. Get another transport and 2 ground over here, so we get 2 transports going over there. So this needs to happen, and this needs to happen. No advantage buts. Get that guy. Get him. you there. You guys there. Does not leave a whole lot to defend India with. 13 and 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think we will destroy our block in 36 anyway. Yeah. I think we'll move the transport back to 36. Or to 38. Be ready to come into Borneo, perhaps, with a bomber here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A little awkward. I'll decide on non-com. Looking good for our offshore. Or our amphibious. Kill. We lose the guy. Fortunate. Alright, here we definitely want to kill these guys. Very dead, and we get the territory. Very nice. Kill, and the territory. Very nice. Okay. All these bombers want to come back. Question is whether to send this bomber here or not. I think we will put this transport here. And put this destroyer here with this sub here. All these fighters can come here. Actually, we do want to put 2, 1, 1. Just have extra defense here. He's got 6 against our 7. No bombers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Should be good enough. Considering putting the entire fleet in 35. Not unheard of. I think we'll abstain from that for now. Can bring 7 fighters to that fight. Don't really want that. Get our second transport going over here. Fighter, bomber, infantry. A couple extra guys here. Very quick on this. 6 infantry and 2 bombers. It's continuing that 6 ground unit push with Air Force. Okay, that's nice for us. keeping these two in Archangel is really nice. I might have overestimated how many territories I can attack here as the Americans. May have to pull out here. I could just take Italy. Skip Southern Europe. So I have 2 transports with which to attack these. Transport here, transport here, but with 1 fighter support each. And then if I do that, I'd only have 2 units with which to attack these 2, which means it would be 1 and 1, and I can't do that. I definitely want to hit France. So I think I'll just send 1 transport worth into Italy. And the rest will come this way. But that does mean a transport will be all by its lonesome. Gets this no problem. Sending fighters to kill the destroyer. Be very nice to kill a fighter here. We do not. There's now 7 defending C-Zone 61 against our 8. It's getting close. Gotta consider whether it's worth just going for it. Which might just be the case. Alright, over here. Is the tricky one. Problem is we can't get all of it. I'm assuming we have 2 coming back. And then get 3, 6. Okay. Well, if we take 1, we want to hit that. And then we'd also want tank and the infantry here. We'd want this guy for here. That would probably be the extent of the attack. Problem is we need the carrier in 8. So defending C-Zone 13 against the bomber would be tricky. We could bring the cruiser out of this little stack since we only have one transport. I think that's what we'll do. We'll put the destroyer cruiser in 13, so I won't send the cruiser into any of these fights. He has to come back to 13, as well as this destroyer. These two transports can come back. This infantry can remain in Algeria for now. And that'll be the American attack. Here. These two can land here. These two can land here. Bomber back. This transport can come back. These two can come here. You guys pick up 2. Four. This sub can come south. And that's good enough for now. Could put this sub even closer if we want. We want to send a destroyer up north. I think we will. I think we will push our subs nice and close to him and make a play. Oh, we ran out of slots. Whoops. That's fine. Save a buck. Alright. 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. 30. So we definitely need to take you. Probably one of the most important attacks. And he's got just this stuff. I think he's got 7 fighters. 17, 27, 28, 35. If he wants to put all his fighters in here. 25, 26, 27, 20, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. Can't really get it back if we come off of Caucasus. Which is awkward. All of these guys, I mean, doesn't have a whole lot of guys left. I think we'll do artillery, infantry into there. We'll do 2 infantry and a tank. Three infantry, artillery, tank. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 27, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. Can't remain in Caucasus after this. So probably just have to come out into Moscow here. Which is unfortunate. But we can't afford to lose this efficiency while he's got almost no one on the front. Long with all this stuff on the east without counter. Oh, that's not great. Too long on the east without counter. And we will be escaping caucus. For now. Good 21 though. 7 infantry next time. See what he wants to do. This round we might want to go north just to claim Finland and Norway while we can. $722, not a half bad purchase. Fully expect him to stack Caucasus here with the support of the Japanese fighters. Perhaps should have bought a sub in 35 instead of the fighter here, just so I'd have an extra thing attacking 61. Might have been worth it. See what he wants to do here. Still efficient. You will be stacking Caucasus. Yeah, it'll be painful for a little bit, but there's not much pressure from Japan right now. I will hit the fleet here. Hit the fleet, attack Borneo with this bomber I had left remaining. That's fine. All good trades. Oh. Wants a little extra meat in West Russia. Okay. It's definitely going to need the Japanese fighters now to defend. Which will be a little awkward for him, because he's going to want those here in a moment in the south, especially if 61 goes half decently. Some good defense from Italy. One hit back, potentially one more. Nope. One hit back's good enough. I think next turn will be in C-Zone 8 and C-Zone 3. Looks like he's going to get France for free. Yep. One hit back here would be nice. Looking unlikely now. Gets West Russia free. And Northwest Europe for free. Perfect turn. Well, except Italy. Lost one in Italy, everything else was perfect. Looking to make a play on Moscow here. British are going to have a pretty big turn. They have lots of objectives. Americans will also have a lot to attack here on the west coast. British need forfeit homeland. Need maybe 2 and a sub. And a fighter for the homeland. We can start attacking the land a little more efficiently. Upgrade you to an arty. Alright, so here's the plan. Take this. We send an infantry or artillery. We send these fighters here. These fighters here. Sub and bombers. We get these guys. Up in the north. Start threatening the north. Defended by the Americans. Now hopefully, if this battle goes well, these guys can come down to 37 and start threatening Philippines next turn. And with the American subs in the ocean, it's going to be a little hard for him to put stuff down again. especially taking back Borneo. If 61 doesn't go well, then we're going to have to block 36 with a cruiser, and then our ability to control the south here is going to be flimsy at best. So a lot hinges on this battle. Let's see how it goes. At the very least, we're going to have lots of income. Not a good start. Get it. Nice. Alright, Borneo is ours. Here we go. Big battle. So, he's gonna get 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. We should get 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 to 5 hits. Ooh, the fighters are going before the carriers. Ooh, could be dangerous. I guess 3. Alright, bombers, it's up to you. 3. Battleships remain. Oh, oh, it's looking good now. Oh, looking less good. Oh, looking very good. Alright. That's the battle we needed. Very good. These bombers can come back. They can come back. This bomber can land here. 1, 2, 3. These guys can now finally move up. The world rejoices. Maybe want to put an AA gun in Burma here. We may need it here in a moment. Keep fighters in Moscow for now, since nothing can attack India this round. Right, that's all she wrote. Extra fighter up there. Artillery. 2 and 3. 42 bucks. All of a sudden, Japan is looking not very healthy. His core of power sits right here. And these 7 fighters are needed in Caucasus. Complex and more bombers. Wants to come right into Burma with his 12 guys. Sure. Sure. I mean, you can kill the infantry. Russia can. We'll just put 1 infantry down here. Might not be worth risking a plane for. But okay. nice to get a hit back here. Nice. We get one more. And all right. Gets it free. Very well. It's a big meaty Air Force and caucus. Very well. It's got a half decent threat on India. See what America wants to do here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's get a transport. Let's get another bomber. And artillery. Here. 3 here. This cruiser can come up. Battleship. Fighters. Fighters. Bomber. These guys are just coming out. We do have to be careful. Then actually, I don't need this battleship. I need this battleship up in season 3 to defend against the bomber. Otherwise, I won't have enough in season 8 this round. All right. Very nice. Be a good chunk of people he has to kill. Oh, very nice. Nice. That'll require some planes on his part. Destroyer. Let's put the battleship up north. As well as this destroyer, honestly. We can put these guys here. These guys here. Transport's going back here. Which means we only need this guy. Finish up over there. All right. Yep, that is good enough. All around. Well, when in Rome, just finish off the Japanese here over there. 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 38. Plus any of these guys. One has to come here. One can stay. One coming back. Two coming back. I can bring infantry artillery up here. That's good enough. Actually, I could put this tank up north if I wanted. Which would leave this fighter open to hit something else. Just help this battle. I don't have to put an artillery there, just put an infantry. Attempt strafe. Well, I don't have to. Might be a bit dangerous. Let's not let him do anything sneaky down there. That's good enough. We're definitely getting a complex here as the British, maybe even in Borneo. He's standing out on income 32. Yeah, that might not be enough, especially with all these planes stranded out here. Have to bring them back to the factory. 14 and 1. Again, good purchase. 46 I can see last round. It's going to lose control of the north here in a moment. The British. Ooh, Egypt. Finally deciding it's had enough waiting. It's a good time to do it, since the British want to attack this stack. Which is probably what they will do, and unless Germany does some weird shenanigans here in Persia. Will Min take it? Actually, Zuff's figuring out what we want to do in India. A little bit of a suspect attack. Might be able to efficiently take those guys out, especially if the British take Karelia. We might even be able to snatch a victory due to VC this round. If he's not careful. We're lined up for Italy and Karelia and Kiangsu and Philippines. So even if he takes India back, it might not matter. He can't get this back. Can't get this back. Ooh, he does get 6 into France. That is a hard take. It's a hard ask, that's for sure. Is this free? Perhaps the British... Well, no, we gotta kill this if we want to have a chance at it. Well, maybe we can get it anyway with, 2 infantry, tank, 2 fighters, and then we weaken France with 2 transports with a Fig Newton. That might just be what we do. trying to consider if it's worth a play here. I mean, Japan could definitely ride in with their fighters into France if you wanted to. It would look very suspicious if we take both of these, all three of these. Would be nice to win this. Oh, nice. Makes it a little easier. One more hit would be pretty devastating. Oh, okay. Okay. Tricky play. Tricky play. Did not put anything in Italy, interestingly enough. And only 2 in Karelia. So we will take Karelia. I think we'll soften France up. I think we'll gambit India away in place of a complex for Borneo. I think we will take both of these positions. Which means we do need 4 for you. We will build 3 in India. Which is 6. Save it. Get an artillery. Yeah. Okay. So do need to take it. These bombers, send 1 here to try to take that. I will hit this. And another bomber up there. This infantry has to come here to Persia. Well, it doesn't have to, actually. You can just stand there and help defend. It's unfortunate this bomber isn't in range. Try to get 2 hits in there. Long shot, but soften it up a little bit. Greatest weakness is here in the Philippines. This is not a guaranteed battle. It'll look very suspicious if we start with fighters to try to get it. But overall, it's not a horrible play regardless. And it's not good. Nice. Alright, we got it. Whew. Oh, baby, we can go again. We can go again. Oh, we took it. Let's go. That'd be real awkward for him to try to defend that last VC in Italy. That's enough. But whatever. Corellia, we do need to take Corellia at all costs. Oh god. We do need to take Corellia at all costs. Okay. Didn't cost points. That's all that matters. So now, even if Japan takes India, it won't matter. I guess they could go there. I mean, Americans will always be there. We'll bring this bomber back. Actually, we can just put it in Borneo for now. These guys will come back. So will you. India's a little awkward, but you know what? It'll do what it's supposed to do. Because Japan can't do much of anything anymore. Looking pretty good. The only thing he can hope to do now is take India with his men, and maybe the bombers, and send all the fighters to Italy, and hope, really, really hope, the Americans can't take it. 3 tanks and a bomber. We'll know instantly if we've won the game, if he sends all his fighters into India. Did we win the game? Ooh, he's considering. He's thinking. Oh, yep. We won the game. That is all she's gonna write. Well, I'll wait for him to walk in before I say anything. That's fine. They don't matter anymore. There's only one transport in 61. Alright. Good game, PhillyEagle72. You played really well, actually. In the end, BC, it'll catch up with you, you know. British had too long in the south to do their thing. The fleet in 61 needed a couple extra surface ships. An extra carrier would have gone a long way. It looks like he did lose a bomber. Oh wait, no, he sent the bombers here. We got 4 artifacts. Anyway, it doesn't matter, because Italy is still going to be very much in American hands by the end of the round, which is all 10 we need. Not too far behind, too. I mean, America's about to go after you, but about 20 to 30 points within that margin. Again, played very well. Alright. Very good custom to play as if you're not about to win, just so that if you missed something, you still have a hope in the game. But we'll do the most important battle first. Attack that. Hit you. Some of the other stuff really matters. I'll hit you just for the future. And we'll even send you in. And we'll send you... And nothing's in the north anymore, so you can come here. And that'll be that. Italy, just making sure, just has nothing. Yep, alright. Surprises left in this game. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bombers could still attack my bomber horde. Just kind of funny. I guess I'll put them there. Again, just doing moves. The game isn't won. Alright, there you go. Alright. Thanks for the game. That was a lot of fun. Um, Again, biggest thing probably is 61. It went really well for me. That was an awesome battle, but you got to be careful about leaving the ships open for that kind of thing. There's a reason I brought the sub forward and the destroyer forward, and part of it was to defend India, but the other part of it was to have like an attack, an actual possibility of an attack on 61. And when I saw that, um, I realized the turn after I'm looking at it, I'm like, it would be even better if I just bought a sub, or maybe even brought the bomber back. But the bomber being here helped anyway because it allowed me to get Borneo. Anyway, gotta watch out for the British in the south. They will cause all sorts of issues, and one of the biggest issues um, is something people generally don't um, see coming is VC sniping as the allies, because they can get into all sorts of mayhem when the Philippines are at play, when a transport can get to Kiangsu. Not killing that transport in 37 was also a big deal. You really needed to kill that transport. That actually won me the game because it allowed me not only to take Borneo, but also to take Philippines and Kiangsu on the same turn. And you had just built your complex, which would have allowed you to retake Kiangsu from that turn forward. From that point on, you would have been able to take Kiangsu back any time because you go after the UK. So it didn't matter if the UK grabbed it, but it was too late. This was the round, the only round a VC snipe was possible, since India was also falling. I could have possibly defended India by attacking the 10 stack in Burma. I probably would have lost a plane or two, but I probably would have wiped the stack, and then Japan would have India, and then Russia can either move a guy in or tank blitz a guy into Persia to protect it from the Germans, and then play would have continued. But the snipe was too potent and too real not to try for, especially when the Germans did not leave anything in Italy. That was a big push for it, and something to be wary of, especially if the Americans are positioned in 13 all of a sudden. I know we've been in 13 a lot of the time during this game, doing kind of a med shot, but especially on the turn where the British fleet is hovering down here, getting ever closer to the more important spots on the map. And then the fighters, you had one last chance to save yourself by bringing the fighters over to Italy. I was actually very worried about how many units survived in France, because it was very possible if the British didn't weaken that the Japanese could land all the fighters in France, and that might have been enough to defend against the Americans. I don't know. I had like 9 ground and like 5 planes or something, with a couple offshores, but you'd had 6 ground and 7 fighters. It would have been a pitched battle, and one less ground unit too to take Italy. So the fact that the British were not only able to weaken France but take it was a gigantic deal there at the end too. So all in all, great strategies. You played well. You got unlucky with a couple key battles, and that's just how the cookie crumbled. So once again, good game, and I'll see you guys next time. I win again. Join me next time. Play against me. Find the what's it called? Find the message in looking for games in the Discord chat when I post, and set me in my place. You think you can beat me?